Good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. 7:39, and bumblebees across the globe are declining from climate change. But there are things we can do to stop these important pollinators from disappearing forever. Joining us now is PhD student Peter Soroye, whose research has received a lot of attention, including from Leo DiCaprio. What? Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Peter, good morning.
Good morning.
I love the Rodman jersey. Don't think I didn't notice that. That's amazing. Let's get into this, though. You are considering yourself a conservation biologist. What does that mean for us that are still learning about these things?
Yeah. So conservation biology is the study of basically trying to protect the world around us, the species, the wildlife, plants, the ecosystems. A lot of the things we humans are doing to the world are not having a great impact on it, from pollution to climate change to deforestation or habitat loss. So conservation biology is the science to figure out what's going on, what we can do about it, and hopefully try to stop the populations that are declining, different species, and hopefully recover the ones that have already declined.
And what was it that really got you interested in doing this?
For me, I think it was really, I grew up in Northern Ontario. I grew up spending a lot of time outdoors and flipping through National Geographic magazines, seeing all the wild animals, all the just beautiful, wondrous places around the world. And when I found out they were declining, I thought, if I'm going to be able to see all this one day, I'm going to have to make sure it's there to see. So it was a little bit selfish, but it was, I just felt really strongly about trying to make a positive difference in that sort of way.
Right, and what you might consider selfish, I think others are going to think is great work. What is it that we can do to start making a change now?
Yeah, that's a great, it starts, one of the big things that wildlife is facing, one of the big things that's causing declines for a lot of species across the globe is climate change. Mm-hmm. And, the biggest thing we can do for that is really show our representatives in government that this is something that we care about. And it really needs to be a coordinated response in the face of that. So that's one of the biggest things we can do. Otherwise, being environmentally friendly, being more sustainable, reduce, reuse, recycle is a common mantra and a really effective one. When it comes to pollinators and bees, the things that I study, one of the best things you can do is make a wild pollinator garden or a local wildflowers. And that really does help a lot, even if you live in the middle of the city.
Peter, you seem really humble, and I'm going to talk about this because those are great suggestions right there. But your work and your research back last February was, of course, published in Science, and then all kinds of it just spread from there, right? It's a prestigious magazine. And then people like Leo DiCaprio are posting about your work. What does that feel like for you and to come this far with that?
Yeah, that was really crazy. It was a wild thing. That paper, like you said, took off. It went, almost viral. A lot of celebrities retweeted it. We shared a spread in People magazine with Ryan Reynolds on one side with his dog and us on the other side with our research about bees. So it was really cool to see people engage with it and really care about it. It's one of the best things about conservation biology is that people really care about what you're doing. And it's awesome when people see it and they see that there's a solution there. And they see that they can help out and help make a difference too. And
it's really cool because you are helping make a difference. We talk about the celebrity aspect of it, but people put eyes on what they post and what they retweet. So it's really cool. And it hasn't stopped there. It's continued for you as well. STEM, in general, we want to get more young people involved. What's your message to them?
Yeah, I think it's really critical. Science is often viewed as it's, boring, old men, in lab coats and whatever, but it's so far from that. I have a Rodman jersey and,
well, you can say it. I know you hesitated for a quick second there. You want boring old white men is what the stereotypical look is of what people think, right? Like, be honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of old. It's funny going to conferences where you're talking about biological diversity and, you're in a room of hundreds of people and they're all white. It's, it's kind of startling when you're talking about the diversity of the world. And it really does, the more diversity you have on teams, the better these teams work, right? That's a lot of research in sociology shows that. And beyond that, it's just a lot of groups, a lot of, Black people, people of color, Indigenous people have been excluded from science for so long. And so I think it's really important just to level the playing field and help these historically excluded groups join science, join conservation biology, join the outdoors and all these places where they've been excluded before. I think that's something that I really hold dear, something I try to help solve in my university or help work towards more equity and diversity and inclusion there.
And that's great that you're putting that message out there, man. And you are changing the world step by step. I love it. I see PhD student on the screen here. When do I get to call you Dr. Soroye?
Later this year. And if you're a conservation biology organization looking for a excited and passionate conservation biologist, then let me know. Hit me up.
Where's your social media? People want to see the stories, the research you're doing, and to be able to get in touch with you.
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Peter Soroye. Find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram at Puffy Pete. I'm always trying to share pictures of cool animals and birds, reptiles, butterflies, and bumblebees that I'm seeing. So yeah, find me on social media, follow me, visit my website, petersoroye.com.
It is great. I was checking out your website last night, and there's a lot of great information, a lot of great photos as well, if you just want to explore that side of it and get that escape that way. Peter, thank you so much, and keep up the great work, man.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Really appreciated you talking to me.
No problem. Take care. Darren, over to you. What's coming up?
Coming up, first of all, amazing conversation there, Devo. Coming up, we got your birthday celebrations. I got a list. It's a long list. It's a good list. We'll get to that in just a few minutes.